right, so we're recording now. We're going to share screen. Whoops, I'm going to go for the whole desktop. All right, so okay, as participants can now share the screen. I appreciate Miriam's tolerance because I did notice, I didn't realize that I had that second picture so you could see anything I did on my keyboard. And I didn't realize that I was putting the menus underneath it. But if you guys remember, here, we'll put it here. I've got some room for it on the screen. That's good too. If you guys remember, I've divided into different layers. And what this is going to do is give us the most freedom for working. And so let me just go to this layer first. If you remember what that layer is, it's the office section. I showed you pretty much a way to bring the, I showed you how to pull it out using one tool. And I'm going to show you another way to do it that is a more complex tool and is absolutely a better way to do black and white because you get a lot more control of it and it gives you black and white related to the colors in the pictures. Now, the one thing I can do is I just did Command A, or what I could do is take that off and do select all. And then the thing is, trying to think how I do this. Then I click. Nope. All right, so, and the only thing that is on this layer is this segment right here. So I'll show you the results in a minute. So underneath image adjustments, there are, gosh, so many adjustments, but there's this relatively new one that I like a whole lot, and it's called black and white. Okay, and what this is doing, using the colors that are in this, you can make these more white or more black. So right now the preview is on. So if we take preview off, put preview on, and also what I'm going to do for a second here is repeat what I did before. And when we look at this and we do these colors, okay, we can do manipulations based on the color we think it is. So if we look at this, you can remember I said I thought it had a lot of green in it. Well, you're going to see in a second that I was pretty much wrong. So let's say I want to take everything that's green and darken it. Can you guys see nothing's happening? There, I'm on my, you know, even if I try to make it white. So it is not. Okay, it is not green. We'll take a look at it for just a second again, turning the preview off. So the next choice is yellow. And when I start to pull yellow down, what it's doing is, even if we had the whole picture, I would just be darkening the yellow. And that gives a pretty nice effect there. Okay, so the preview there. That's where it takes it to black and white. If we add other colors, you can see that you can make other colors more or less something. Okay, you can make it more white, more black, so you can alter the black and white itself rather than it just sort of does a flat algorithm that decides, oh, this is black, this is white, etc. Okay, so that's the first simple thing. So we'll say, okay, so now this layer is the one that's black and white. If I turn it off, you can see that underneath it, it's still green. Okay, so let me just show you, since I do have an extra layer underneath it. Okay, I didn't have to specifically way, but if you want to flatten something, or I say, okay, I was able to do this, I feel confident with it. What you do is, okay, you right click on the layer. So I have right clicked on the layer, and what I'm going to do, I'm hoping here, is I'm going to merge down. Okay, so that means it is going to merge this upper layer down to the next layer. And that's called flattening. And it will flatten it. We will have just one layer. So now there it is. If I put on the layer below it, now there's just that layer and that layer's below it. And so that's there. Okay, so hopefully everybody kind of gets that. Right now, I've got all the layers below this turned off, and you can see that there. So let me go to this top layer and show you the better way to manipulate this color. Because what we worked with was the simplest one, which was hue and saturation. Okay, but what I'm going to go to is color balance. Okay, we could start in hue and saturation. Let's start there. Okay, and this is where I first went last time, and I will increase saturation. So now you're getting a pretty full orange and an okay on the yellow, right? And then we kind of get this blue up here, a little bit of green down in there. All right, so I'll just go with that for now. If this doesn't work, we'll come back and we'll undo it because we've got all that here in history. Okay, so then I'm going to go to image adjustments and I'm going to go to color balance. Wait a minute, that is not what I want. I don't think that's the one I want. Let me make sure. Okay, yeah, I guess it is. All right, so we're going to go adjustments. I'm going to go color balance. Now, the key is that there are, all right, that's just hanging out. I don't even know if you guys can see that. All right, so now we're gonna look up at this color balance. And what you can see is it would be this yellow, okay, little dull. So we want to, let's pull out blue. So this blue up here, okay, let's pull out blue and let's increase the amount of yellow in those blue spaces. Okay, so now what we're getting is we're getting a bit more, we're getting that gradient of a nice sunset that goes from yellow to orange because we're pulling out blue. And now what's happening up here in this corner is that it's becoming very green. So I can sort of show that to you because this will grab greens and make them more green. I think somebody kind of did this where they kicked up the green and it sort of becomes outer spacey or something like that. But let's just put that back to 0 because, okay, I'm thinking, okay, this is green. Now, also, if I wanted to increase, I want to decrease the green. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the red. Okay, that would sort of be the logical opposite. So if I go to the red, now you can see that the orange has gotten strong. Okay, but we're really not seeing red. Well, the thing is, we still have a normal level of green. Okay, and because we have a normal level of green, we have kicked up the red, but when you put green and red together, they actually make gray because they are opposites of one another. So up in this corner, it feels a little more red, but it's gone more green. So then let's come back to this color balance. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out green, which means I'm going to go to the magenta side on this. So I'm going to pull. And what we start to get is now we get the red. So now we've got super hot colors. Okay, now we could even go back and adjust the, we could go super red, we could lighten the red, that's kind of purpley. And so now we've got something that's just like, bam, sunset, right? Sorry, I need to put the chat up just so I see it. Okay, sorry. All right. So if you wanted to say anything, so everybody see, now we don't have that sort of ugly blue-gray thing up in the corner. And this is like, wow, that's pretty wild. And we've got it very dynamic behind. We've got all this color in there. And that's really the amazing thing in Photoshop. There are a lot of colors in there that you're not aware of or that you can find by making these kind of adjustments. Okay, so what I've essentially done, I've pulled up the red, which takes out cyan. I've pulled out green, which kicked up the magenta and gave us the red in the corner. We boosted the yellow. Let's just see, maybe. I don't think there's any blue in here, but let's just see if we can maybe. Okay. We can even give, we can lighten up that red in the corner and almost it starts to approach an orange. And that's pretty nice. Okay. So we're going to say okay on that for right now. And I just need to check to make sure. Yes. Okay. So we are recording. I'll grab a little sip of water. So this is a much more dynamic sort of sunset. You don't have a lot of foreground, but that's okay. Now, what I want to show you is there are a lot of ways to choose colors in Photoshop. Okay. And one of those ways is to come over here and double click and we get what's called the color picker. And in the color picker, you can select colors. You can, okay, you can go in here, and this is actually a wheel. So these are hues. That's why that's H. And you can find orange, you can find yellow, green, you can find yellow, you can find all kinds of greens and aqua, and then you can find blue, pink, all those sorts of things. All right. So that's, and then like say, let's just go to something we're kind of working with, which is orange. And if I move it up here and that's higher saturation, and it is higher brightness, so that I get a brighter orange. If I reduce saturation, which is across here, it becomes much lighter, okay? If I decrease brightness, it can give me the brown, and you can do this numerically, and I will talk more about this, and those sorts of things. But this is very sort of experimental, mathematical on your part. The best places to get color, in fact, are in nature itself. Okay, and we've got some really nice colors here. Now, what I want you to look at, and I'll zoom in, is okay, I'm pushing the space bar, and that's how I got the hand. Okay, and I'm going to do Command minus just so you can see. But you can see here, I think I did mention it, there's actually people there, and we are seeing through to the sunset. Now, clearly, these are windows into the building, but what I can do, because at this level, essentially, we would be assuming that this yellow would be that yellow. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the eyedropper. There it is. Okay, the eyedropper tool. And what I can do, I can grab any color that is in this picture at all. You can do it in Illustrator as well, which it's very cool to know. So you can use the designs you find in nature, the colors you find in nature, and you can just grab them. And the eyedropper is that powerful tool. So I am going to select the eyedropper tool. I'm going to come down here. Now I want you to watch this square right here. When I do the eyedropper, it has now become that. Now, I showed you on the selection tool, okay? I showed you the quick selection tool, all right? But there is one that is more detailed. Now, we could use quick selection. We could find out, let's just see if I come down here, I've got the quick selection tool. And there's actually nothing here because I'm on that layer. So I need to come down a layer because what I want to do is grab this yellow inside here. Okay, it actually looks like they're pretty similar. I'm going to go, sorry, I'm going to go up a little higher. Let me just see if this works. Okay, because I'm not on that layer, it's not grabbing it. Okay, so I'm going to go up here a little higher. Okay, that may or may not be able to tell. Okay, so if I'm going to try the quick selection tool, I need to be on the right side. So I'm going to say, okay, but it over selected. So I'm going to deselect. First thing I'm going to try to do is I'm going to make it smaller. So I'm going to make it about, let's see, 15 pixels. Yeah, that'll kind of work. And let me see what I get. There's, okay, that's pretty accurate. Okay, it has grabbed what I want to grab. But, and it really doesn't matter if it has that piece or not. But there is another tool in here that gives you, well, the quick selection work, let's just go with it. Because what I can do now is I go under Edit and Fill. And with Fill, I've got a lot of choices of what I can fill that space with. Black, white, half gray. Then I can use these chips, the foreground color, the background color, and I could select a color. So I could go into color selection, okay? But I can go with the foreground color that I've grabbed. I say, okay. And did you see that became a deeper yellow? Okay. Now, the other part of this is it could be kind of nicely cool and dynamic if I step out of what is completely real. And then what I do is I can select, all right, I can select these two white windows. This one will be a little harder, but the way I can add, so I've got that selection in there. I hold the shift key down, let's see, and now I've grabbed both. Okay, I can hold the shift key down and I can grab both. And then what I can do is then edit, fill again. And this time fill will be where we were last time, foreground color. And now it's like those are windows out to the sunset as well. So that is one way that is a way we can do this. And so what I'm going to do, because I want to take a step more, I'm gonna zoom in. Okay, I am going to push the space bar, and you see all these white holes. These white holes, okay, are actually where the sunlight is coming through that latticed roof. And I'm probably not going to do them all, but this is pretty big. So let me see if I can get it down smaller. Okay, so there's 3 pixels. I'm going to hold the shift key, and I've got that space. I'm going to leave those alone. I'll grab anything that is pretty completely white and maybe a little something next to it. Okay, so there we go. Oh, there's more to have there. Okay, now what could work better for us here, because we're not grabbing a big area, is in fact the magic wand. Sorry, that's the eyedropper tool. So that's the quick selection tool. Now the magic wand is interesting because the magic wand, what it does is it goes on a single pixel. Whatever pixel you're on, it grabs it. So actually, I'm gonna do this by starting over again. But let me zoom in just so you can see. So it is going to select that pixel. Now, this tolerance number is actually interesting. Okay, if it's at 0, that means the magic wand will only take colors that are the exact same color as the one I've clicked on. So, okay, so those are the ones that are exactly the same as that. And so if I go the opposite and I change your totally tolerance, any color matters. Now watch what happens. Okay, it selects a lot more colors. So what happens is the tolerance level on the magic wand is generally 32. We might even end up at 50 on this one, but if I go 32, that is virtually perfect for what I want. Okay, so now another thing that is here is that it is anti-aliased and white. Okay, all right. So that means it's going to soften the edges a bit. But now if I go to the magic wand, I'll go start on this guy and I'll say shift. Nice. Okay. I'm going to stay away from the gray ones. Just go with the white ones. Now I'm holding the shift key down on this. So the magic wand gives us more direct control of what we're doing here. So I'm grabbing all these guys. And the point is, like, that one's more gray, but I've decided to grab it. I'm grabbing that one. This one is definitely more green. And I'm not sure why that is, but it might be, it could actually even be a light to keep airplanes from crashing into the building. Okay. And I'm just going to run across here. There's another one that's really green. Click it twice. We'll leave that one. We'll go here. So the green is some kind of weird phenomenon here from the original photo. So I'm grabbing all these. Okay. I'm going to take that one. It's pretty close to white. Really don't like the green one, so I'm going to make them. Okay. So then I'll grab that one, that one. So this is some of the kind of detail work when you really want to do something and get into the details. And it's the details that actually make something look composited. Okay, and those white places were attracting quite a bit of, whoa, some attention. So there we go. That's even actually, that's got some of the yellow in it. There's white, white. I'm going to grab that green, 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 and white. Okay, so this is when you're going to need to do selections and things. The magic wand is kind of your detailed tool. If you want less color range, you reduce that tolerance down. If you want more color range, you take that number up. But the default setting will be 32. And as you can see, 32 is pretty nice. Okay, we're pretty close to the top. We're getting close to the edge. Now, when I've done something this detailed, so I have grabbed a whole truckload of these. I'm going to make my life easier for the future. Okay. And I'll show you what I mean by that, but give me just a second. So that's okay. That, okay. Getting close. There's a couple big ones. So the way this roof is designed is so that you can see through it, just like looking through the palms in an oasis when the palms are overhead and you're looking up through them. Okay, so there we go. We're getting close to done off of the roof. Okay, whoops, there's a couple more. Okay, good, good, good. I'm gonna leave those. Okay. All right, so there's one there. Those all look selected. Okay. There's two more. There, ooh, there's a big one. Oops. Okay, and then we'll go straight across. Those are all grabbed. Those are all grabbed. I'll grab that one. Okay. I'll grab that one. Okay, there's that bigger one, bigger one. That one seems grabbable. We will, there you go. And then I'm going to go down and grab this window. Yeah, actually, I like that. It's going to leave that blue part where. Ooh. There, okay, I've got that one grabbed. There's the other window. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And actually, I don't want all of this stuff. And what I can do is I shift the magic wand and I push the option key, and then that minuses. So hopefully, I have just minused, okay? So I'm gonna, whoops, wrong way. I'm gonna go minus on my zooms. And you can see all the little marquees going on. And I'm gonna grab all those things. Now, what I'm gonna do is, once again, to give myself a little creative room, and it's gonna make my life easier in a minute, I've taken the time to grab all those things. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to copy, edit, copy, and then I'm going to do edit, paste. All right. And I've pasted them. So I am going to go on this level. So I'm here on this layer where you can't see anything. Right. And so let me look at that layer. I'm clicked on it. I'm positive. I am going to do select all. Okay. Okay. Sorry. So I have selected all. And what we're going to find out is, if I did this right, is fill, foreground color. Whoa, that is not what I wanted. Okay. So, oh shoot. Let me. Okay. All right, I'm going to try something here because I've clearly grabbed some extra things here accidentally. And I can get rid of those quickly, but let me just see what happens. Edit.
Sir,
Yeah.
can I see before and after, please?
Okay. I'm not sure what you mean.
I mean, can I see the before and after?
Of the sky and everything?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll show you that in a minute, okay?
Okay.
So I don't want all this stuff grabbed down here at the bottom. So I have taken the marquee tool. I will push the option key and I'm going to make all those go away. So these ones up here are still on marquee. So remember, I grabbed all the white spaces and I have grabbed this yellow behind it. So what I want to do is I'm now going to fill those. Sorry, I'm going to now fill those with the foreground color, with the yellow. Okay, so now all of those spots, all of those areas look like it's showing us the yellow from behind. Okay, so now in addition, what I'm going to do now is I am going to edit copy. Okay, I'm going to edit paste. All right, and so now do you see that we're seeing the yellow as though it's coming through the roof? Okay, and yes, so it goes away, it's there, it's there. Okay, so either way, so what I will be able to do is to use, I'll use those in a minute, but I actually want to name these. All right, I'm just going to call it peaking sunlight. All right. So now if you want to see, like a reasonable request, you want to see what it looked like before. Okay, I'll put the original, I'll put the original on. So I'll turn the sky off and okay. So what is not badly composed, but relatively boring picture? First, I kick up the sky. Then I reduce, okay, I take out this distraction of this color that's competing with the sky, and I put yellow into those holes so it fits with that sunset. So now we're like fully focused on that sunset. Yeah. So it's a much more dynamic kind of picture. Okay. Okay. So, all right, that will be on the tape. So you'll see how to do that using some more adjustments, but then using some selection tools. Now, the reason I have grabbed all of these, let me see if this works, is I want to be able to do Command All. No, okay. And I'm going to say, then what I'm going to do, let's see, wait a minute. I need to do Command All with it on. Command All. All right. Then that selection will stay with me. And I will now do delete. No. Okay. That did not work. All right. So let me come back up to here, see if I can get this done. Okay, so I'm going to use the freehand lasso. Gonna move, there we go. And I'm gonna undo the move. Okay, let's just go. Let me try something different. I'm going to do edit, cut. I'm going to do edit, paste and paste special, paste in place. All right, that did not help me. Okay, sorry. I'm going to do, let me try Command All again. Let me do select inverse. Yeah, that's okay. All right, I need to find out what's going on. Yeah. No. Okay. All right, so it's not, so I'm going to do move. That then gives them to me. If I do edit, fill again, sorry, I'll walk through this with you in a second. Okay, I've turned them all black, good. I'm gonna undo that. I'm gonna okay, I'm gonna then go down here to this one. And they are in the right place. Okay. Yes, I was able to keep them in the right place. So what I'm going to now do is do edit. Okay, wait, got to be sure that level's selected. And I'm going to cut the color out. So you can see here, the grid is visible down there. Okay, so my sky is now available to me. My office building is gray. I know I'm gonna have to walk through that again for you. So let me just go back. Is everybody, are we kind of okay right now? Kind of. Okay, yeah, okay. So I am now going to open a picture of the sky. A completely different picture. So let me open. Okay, let's see. Wait. Well, I'm gonna go. There we go. No, that's like. So let's see what this is. Okay. All right, so I am now going to open this epic picture of the sky. All right, it is at 25%, and the demo here is at 50%. So I am going to say, I am now going to do this in a much simpler way than I did it on the other one. I'm going to grab it all. I'm going to edit, copy. All right. Then I'm going to go back to my Louvre picture. I need to place it between these two layers. So now I'm going to do edit, paste. And what I've done is in those open areas, and you can see it through the holes, and it's even blue there. We now have clouds. Strange clouds from a strange place, but just like that yellow light, they're now peeking through. Now, what I want to do is figure this out. So that cloud picture is actually huge. And I am now going to go to this cropping tool. Nope, I'm not going to go to the cropping tool. What I'm going to do is stay on this level and do Command All. Okay, it looks like I'm going to have to, let me do it again. Sorry, my apologies. There it is. Okay, so I'm there, selection, there, okay. So there's a whole lot of cloud. So on that layer, I'm selecting all. I hope this is going to work because it keeps grabbing it back there. Then I'm going to go to edit, transform. And I am going to go to scale. And my chains are hooked together. Let's just see if I go 50%. Okay, that did not work. So prohibited sign. Okay. So, okay, so I'm going to paste and then edit, transform, scale. There it is. Okay, so now I've got the scale. And it only really needs to go to there. All right, so now I have placed in there by doing scale right as I paste it. That looks a little proportional. Those are pretty dynamic clouds. And so I can create this image. That now has epic clouds in it in the background. Now, this is a very bizarre sort of picture. I mean, I guess it does show that the sun is behind. You guys kind of get what I just did? Okay, I could go get another picture of clouds. Oh, okay. Let's see.
So how can we make, how can we like, because it kind of looks fake. Like if someone looks at it, say, okay, the background is fake. So how can we make it even more real, more realistic?
Okay, then you have to pick something that is more similar. Wait a minute. Because there's actually a reason to show this to you. Okay, so this is one. All right, we'll go with the super intense one. Okay, because I zooped up the color in that one. It looks kind of like a painting, but this was shot on film a long time ago. And I will show you some of those tips of how you do that. If I go, I'm going to go Command P. What is that? Oh, sorry, Command V. And I'm going to go Edit, Transform Scale. It's going to give me the whole big scale. And so because there, you feel better about that? I mean, it's certainly not perfect. And I've never seen a sunset quite like that here. It is a real sunset. Okay, but when the elements can be more incorporated, it will look more real. This is really a different kind of cloud. I think the clouds are still too big. So I really zoomed into them too far, whereas in this one, those clouds are possibly there. But there are some other things. There's some stuff in this one, like this edge here, we could work on the details of that edge. But what I wanted to show you, and I downloaded were these pictures by Magritte, and actually this super cool piece of art created in 1929 by surrealist Magritte. It's kind of that same feeling, because you basically, what you're seeing here is a street scene or a waterfront scene, kind of New Orleans feels like, in the dark, and then he has totally daytime clouds. So this is this is Magritte, and you could even do something like this, but where he takes a reality and plays with it. We could do all of these things. We could use them as the basis for Photoshop and things. So that's sort of those things. So this is basically me demonstrating it to you. When you get to somewhere, see, in my opinion, this looks more real. This looks better. Let's go back up to free transform. and go edit. Okay, so there. See, now I don't want the land there, so I can use that. I've got till there, but the land's interfering. I could make it a little smaller. And then it might be more proportionally correct. And so it's below the big holes, and we can see it underneath. Okay, so this is just showing one way when you layer those things together. Using this specific one. Okay. I'm gonna give you these pictures and let you do this. All right, so another thing, let me show you some other ways to make, so that's layering. That's an initial way you do a composite. And I'm trying to think, let me see if I can find another sky just from, oh yeah, there was that other sky. Okay, so I'm going to use that one. It's 33%. So see. Yep, we'll go Command V. See, now that, even though is pretty surreal. Transform scale. And it kind of needs a cloud. Yeah, that cloud's too big. So this could just really be a bizarre blue sky background. And clearly that's, I mean, it really is the quality of the sky or the picture. And then there's things like, okay, so this is showing us these flaws on the edge of the dome. Hopefully you're seeing that. And if I zoom into them, absolutely you're seeing that. Okay, that is left over. And what I can do to help fix that is go to the, sorry, I'm on the wrong layer. I need to be on this layer. I need to deselect. Now I can. Okay, so now I'm selecting that stuff with sunshine. And essentially, okay. Those didn't seem to be too bad. I mean, they're gonna show up a little. See, now I definitely feel like I want to cut that out and that out. And, ooh, that's awful. And it really is these bright ones that are doing the most damage to what we're doing. And I can just go in and delete them. There we go. There we go. Okay. And then I'll get some of these errant ones. Okay. Okay, so that's actually right along the edge. And what I'm going to do, there is another thing we can do with selection. If I go minus and you see that is actually selecting the empty space. And there's some stuff up there it's not selecting. But when I have a selection like that, and when I've got an edge like that, I can take the selection, I can grow it, I can modify it, I can expand it, or I could just feather it. I could expand it by 1 pixel. And then I can delete that whole area. And there it is. I took all that edge out by getting, okay, now even this one looks better. Doesn't it look better without all that edge? I mean, there's still more edge that could come out. I could expand it by 1 more. Let me just see. See, with the magic wand, I can grab the empty space. With the quick selection tool, I cannot. So now I can expand it again. I can go select, modify, expand, 1 more pixel, see what we get. I say delete, deselect. Okay, I've still got that little white piece there, so I'm going to expand it 1 more. Select, modify, expand by 1, deselect, and yeah, so that's kind of working with, and I've got, now you see I've got all these layers here, and that's what makes a PSD a large picture. Okay. So let me show you some of the other things. I've shown you a number of the adjustments, but I also want to show you kind of a pretty interesting thing in the filters. I'm going to open a new picture. Yeah, we could have a little fun. I'm trying. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to show. Yeah, I'm going to walk through this one picture from the Iranian mosque in Dubai. Okay, let's see. There's a frame. Okay, there it is. Oh no, that's the one I fixed. Okay. Okay, let's go. It's 2. There it is. Okay. Straight. Okay. All right, so I'll open this one up. So, okay, I know you've shot pictures like this before. Well, maybe you don't shoot close-ups of tile and things, But can anybody just give me a hint at why I would have an issue with this? Why it bothers me, my sense of order? If you're there. Okay, look down this side. That side of the tile is perfectly straight. This side of the tile is not perfectly straight. Hopefully you see it. Okay, that's because when I took the picture, I was not standing perfectly in front of it, and it's very hard to stand perfectly in front of anything. So what we can do, this goes into transformation, and this is something you need to experiment with again, as well as the other things. But I do Command A, select all. And what I'm going to do is go to Edit, Transform, and I'm going to use Skew. Okay, there are some other ways. Let's do Skew. What Skew does is allows me to pull on any of these squares, these handles. So what I would like to happen, and this picture will make me happy, when this line on this side is parallel to this edge of the frame, like this one is on this side. So the way to do it is to grab this and pull it. And the great thing is with Skew, it only moves with the one I'm moving. So that quickly, it's almost as if I took this picture perfectly aligned. Trying to see. And you can see that what I eliminated was that bend, that angle. So that's what Skew can do. I click check. And now, excuse me. Now I have a texture, a piece of picture I can work with. Let me open a second one just quickly so you can see that. Okay, yeah, this one's a good example too. And that's the one I fixed. That okay, I didn't mess with that. Okay. So I'll take that one. This is obviously also from the Patterns in the Mosque. Now, the thing is, I was below it. It was above me. And I was as straight, and I was trying to be as straight as I could. You can see down here, I'm pretty balanced, and this line is straight. So once again, if I select all, I go Edit, Transform, Skew. And then what I can do, and this is a little harder to do because I don't have all the lines, but then I'm going to pull that one there, and it will hold there. And actually, I need to pull it a little farther to take the angle of looking up out of it. So if I get those straight, not bad. So you're going to have to experiment. You can experiment with some of the different ways to do that. Okay, so let me show you some filters now. I'm going to open. Hopefully we've got, let's see, where is it? Okay, that's in the other one. It's going to be right there. Okay. No, 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 no. Nope. Okay, so maybe I'll just. Okay, so I'm not sure any of you have ever been to Beijing. This is actually about 3 hours outside of Beijing. It's the Qing Tombs. Now, one of the worst things you can do is go to Beijing in summer because of all the pollution and the smog and the cloudy skies because it's very hot and everything. So this is potentially 500-year-old tomb. Very cool, very quite beautiful. But you can see it's underexposed. There's gray sky behind it. And so the idea would be, the hope would be that this picture could be salvaged. Now, this will never be a perfect photograph because of the lighting, but you can see there's reds there, there's yellows there, there's the greens in the forest, and all these different things. Now, actually, this turns out it's in adjustments, and this is a super complicated looking thing. So we go to adjustments and we go to HDR toning. Okay, where HDR toning comes from, and already on the default, do you see that? You didn't know those were lattice doors, did you? Okay. What HDR originally was is it would take, you would have HDR on your camera. It would shoot one picture underexposed, one picture normally exposed, and one picture overexposed. Then it would sandwich them all together into a single image, and it would actually give a 3D feel to something where the lighting was completely flat. So if I turn preview off, okay, the details just aren't there. Okay, I turn the preview on, you can see it.
It's
So,
clear.
huh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's clear.
sorry,
The picture,
see it
it looks.
Okay, and there are all of these, there's all this technology, okay? So we could increase exposure. Whoa, okay, it was not, okay. I thought I was doing this slowly. But look at that. Okay, little increase in exposure. Now, there is really nothing we can do about the sky because it's flat gray. So this would be one, and I've tried to do it, and it was a lot of work to make it look proper and to have it come through the trees and stuff. It took a lot of fine detail kind of work, but this is the start of doing this. We can increase detail, and actually what it's going to do, well, I'll show you. Look at that. Okay, we can now see the pine needles. There's no way you knew there were pine needles. Okay, so this is okay, that's the photograph, and it came out of my Nikon, so it's a very good camera, and I do know how to use it, though this doesn't look like it. I've got nice composition on the thirds, but here, the digital, look at the wall. Oh gosh. See, this picture then becomes exciting to me. It's starting to take on a little bit of a comic book character, that it looks a little more drawn. But I mean, even there, look, you can look through the tower. You can look through the building, through the lattice doors. And just the detail in the bricks, and it's like now you're seeing the lower yellow roof, and it's a much more beautiful picture. Okay, I'm just gonna fool around a little bit here. Saturation, it's probably okay. So that's overall saturation. So we're definitely getting more green up in the roof. We're seeing more yellow. Vibrance is like saturation to another level. It's like pop, I guess. Let's just see. And it moves more slowly, but look at the yellow down in the green down there. That doesn't interest me too much. Okay. We could make the shadows darker. Or wait a minute, or lighter, I guess. There, the shadows are darker. Ooh. Do you see that this picture is now taking some shape? We could make the highlights brighter. And actually, I've killed a distant mountain with brighter highlights. We could make the highlights darker. And there, wait a minute. Okay, so watch this distant mountain range. It's gone. Okay, this is actually, I think, better with it a little darker. Okay, and it starts to have some dimensionality. And because it's a digital photograph, all this information is in there. Man. Okay, when I start doing this and sort of bringing pictures to life, this definitely you could do for a living. But I'll say okay there. And let me just open, because I did do a little bit of what I'm trying to do with the sky with these. Let's see. And I think I ended up. Okay. Okay, that's what I did. So what I did was here. Here, I'll open these three. Ultimately, you can see it's not perfect and there's white stuff in it. But what I did was I did that toning to a nice realistic satisfaction. And then I just tried to give a straight blue sky behind it. Not completely successful. That is very hard work to get the white out of there. And that would take hours. Okay. But then what I also did was then to give it that cartoon effect, I applied a filter to it. And so I'll show you that in just a second. And this is actually zoomed in much more. And then I made the effort to clean up some of that, but that to me has kind of a graphic novel feel to me. But so there it is. I've exposed it. Now under filters, this is okay. Holy moly, there's a million of them. Okay, you can open the filtered gallery and I'm going to make this a little smaller so we can see it. All right, so right now, all right, no filter is currently applied. If we look at artistic filters, I'm trying to find, if we tried to make it a watercolor, then there's a whole bunch of controls, watercolors. We could go a little crazy here. The watercolor filter is really very black. So we could take that out. We could add a little texture. So now it kind of has a painting vibe. Okay, that's it coming in. Not a great one, but we've got artistic filters. So I haven't accepted it. So once I go off of here, I can do another one. There, this is the one I did apply to it. Was ink outlines, and that it's adding ink. We could, let's see, make the ink strokes longer. That's kind of really softening it up. Dark intensity, there you go. Light intensity. I mean, you can go with even kind of crazy stuff that we're not even totally seeing it unless we make it huge, and then it'll. Okay, there you go. Now it's like wet glass. And that makes it look like it's painted. Let's see. All right, I'm trying to find where's my favorite. See, Ocean Ripples is crazy like that too. It's like you're looking through glass when it's raining. And you can even go like weird. Still, there could be a reason. And there, sketch, sorry. I think, oh, that's what I did. It's generally what I do. This is one I use the most. It's called photocopy. And what I ordinarily do is I would cancel this. There's the picture. I would then make a copy. I'll copy this layer. Sorry. I know I'm running out of time. Duplicate the layer. I've duplicated the layer. I'm now going to take this layer. I will apply a filter. And there's a whole bunch of other ones. I'm going to go to sketch. I'm going to put on, nope, not stamp. I want photocopy of all things. And see what it did is it grabbed the color that was the foreground color. So we'll see how this looks, but that's not what I would generally do. I'll say, okay, so there's that level. And then I go to this layer and I can see this word opacity. I can then make it transparent. And because it's yellow, it's not doing what I wanted. But if you want to stay.
Sir, I hate to interrupt, but it's 5:50.
Yep. Yeah, no, I know. So I'll stop the video and I'm just going to have you post a couple pictures and I'll explain. I'll just tell you, I want you to do a few experiments so we can build on that, because at least the people that posted pictures are making progress. So I'm happy about that. And I'll give you the pictures you need. Okay. Thanks, guys.
Okay.